So with all that, because I know on your episode you had said kind of sobriety was kind of like the byproduct of like healing and getting back into the body and things like that. Whereas mine was like, I'm so sick of myself. I have to do something different.
You summarized what I just said in 2 seconds. Yes. Thank you.
Hey, beautiful. Welcome to Naturally Empowered Living, your safe space to guiding you on your unapologetic self-awakening journey. This is your weekly sanctuary for waking up from autopilot and transforming the way you approach life through the power of meditation, energetics, and root cause therapy. It is my mission to help you heal unprocessed emotions and release stuck energies by alchemizing your struggle cycles into opportunities for deep self-love, awareness, trust, and connection, to return to your innate essence of being, stepping back into your energy of alignment. Because here, we honor all parts of ourselves, the messy and the magic, the shadows and the light, embodying all parts that make you, you. So if you are ready to get to the root of cultivating real change, get cozy, grab your journal and maybe favorite crystals, and let's discover our power within together.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Naturally Empowered Living podcast. This is your host, guide, and mentor in all things energetics, emotions, and self-awakening, Jenna Smith. And I'm going to try not to cry in this episode, guys. Oh my gosh, the feelings might be mutual here. Today's conversation is very, very meaningful to me. This woman literally sitting across from me, first time recording in the office space of Naturally Empowered Living, mind you, but just the woman sitting across from me is someone I deeply, deeply respect. Mm-hmm. We work together in multiple different facets, multiple different layers. She's someone whose presence in my life is just so divinely timed. And I'm already getting emotional. I leased space from her beautiful store, and just the way that we met was just truly so divinely orchestrated. That might be time for another conversation, another episode. We'll see where this conversation goes. But her and her husband, JP, own Rooted Collective 201 in Blanchardville, which is a local farm-to-table makers market. They opened last summer, did a complete, beautiful rework of this beautiful space, and it is home to more than 60 collective members now, just filling these beautiful walls with maker-made, homemade goods, and just more than that, they are truly living, breathing examples of what bringing community together looks like, what a true collective looks like. And today, we're going to see what we talk about today. We're going to see what we talk about. We're not going to only talk about business. We're not going to only talk about healing, but we're just going to get into the shit. We're going to get into the vulnerability, get into the growth of life, just the evolutions, the ebbs, the flows, what it looks like to do this inner work. If you have listened to my episode from last week, I said, the inner work, it's not all beautiful butterflies, rainbows. When you're in it, it's hard. It's isolating. It can be isolating. And just also all of that beauty now intertwined with living outward, living authentically, living just in your power. And Brooke, I am so grateful, so honored, probably a little emotional for many reasons, but just so thankful that you're here with me today. So welcome.
Well, thank you. And holy shit, what a great
it just kept going.
Thank you. And listening to that, I kept thinking, this is why I keep going, literally. And I'm going to cry already.
Yay, let it out.
Things have been hard for a number of years, and listening to how myself and JP have impacted you and your work and just the great things you said, and how our mission with this collective and everything, and it's happening and people feel that. So that helps me feel better about lots of things. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. You guys have helped me in so many different ways. I had no idea what to expect, getting out of my comfort zone of working virtually, all those things. And it's just been nothing but welcoming, and just this, I just saw this horizon of just the beauty of it all. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, and the way we did meet, it was definitely divine intervention. Jenna literally came on my front steps.
Hi, I'm Jenna. Who are you?
It was great. And I knew instantly I liked her. And when we discussed what do you do? And what do you do? And then the place is a mess. I said, why don't you come on in? And even though she could see everything was a mess, and she saw my vision, and yeah, it was great. So,
It was
yeah.
awesome. I was just looking for some locally grown beef. I thought it was going to be a beef store.
Well, yes.
I love it.
Little did you know it was going to be a place that you are now a member of.
I'm
And
so
work out of.
thankful.
And yeah, so it was pretty rad. Pretty rad.
Yeah. So thankful for that. And like, that's the beauty of just like nothing is coincidence, right?
100%.
Okay. Like I said, like you are someone I so deeply respect for so many reasons. Like not just, well, as a business owner, like you and your husband own 5.
Yeah. One is phasing out, but
sure.
yes, yeah.
Right. But I mean, just mad respect there as a human, as a mom, like just on all these things, because you see things for what it is. Like you are very aware would be a good word, but then you're also like, hey, like I'm sad. Like you name it, you own it, you name it. And that's just something I really, really respect. Like you own the power of vulnerability.
Thank you.
And that's part of today's conversation is you sharing your experience. You have gone through now 2 sessions of root cause therapy.
Yep.
And I want to hear like from your perspective, in your words. I love, these are my favorite episodes, just bringing people on and hearing like the impact. So before that we met, worked together, like how was life in the thick of just a complete renovation, right?
Right. Well, I mean, I guess at that time, so that would have been not quite a year ago. So we probably
it was May last year. Yeah.
So at that time, I was doing what I do best, and that is work, distract. So I was kind of in my, I guess, an element in a little way, speaking. So I was busy every single day, and I guess I thrive that way, but also it's, all work, no play, make Brooke a dull girl eventually.
Yeah.
So things were definitely like movement, and we were doing so many, getting the building ready, moving my salon from Middleton, like all of these million things. Plus, we have kids and those kind of things. So I think I was just, it was more of I liken it to a survival mode, but a happier survival mode, because I had this forward momentum of like, we've got this thing we're doing and it's gaining momentum and it's really great. And so that's kind of where I was at, I think, when we first met.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I was just doing some training this morning, and they were talking about, we've talked about this, but the top-down approach.
Yes.
Like people that are so good at that survival mode.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm aware, and I feel like I could put myself in like that, being self-aware. Like I know I have issues. I know, like I'm so aware. I could name it. I could do all these things cognitively.
Yep.
But then it's like, hey, okay, your cognition, your mind, like you say X, Y, Z, but are you actually like, where's that nervous system? Like, are you actually feeling into like the things, right? And I feel like that's so many people get caught into that loop because I know these things about me.
Right.
But then what?
Right.
Then what? Then what? I feel like I kind of attract those types of people, whether it's like, I've done, X, Y, Z. Like I feel so self-aware, but it's the how.
Yes.
It's how. So what made you kind of feel like it's time for something different? Was it the self-awareness, or maybe like what made you say yes to the type of work that I do?
As far as like, hey, I think I'll be your client.
Yeah.
Well, I think I had the final aha moment one day when I was listening to one of your podcasts, or it was one of the posts that you had. I can't remember which one exactly, but I had shared Jenna's post on our store's business Facebook page. And it basically said, like, if you needed a sign to do something different, if you feel stuck, if you, want to feel better, here's your sign. And I got done writing it, posted it. And then a couple minutes later, I was like, okay, Brooke, there's your sign. Like, you're speaking to yourself. So prior to this, a little bit of backstory about me. I've been sober now 6 years. It was 6 years in November. So that was kind of the first big thing that I tackled was getting sober. But since then, it's always like, oh, you feel better right away. You quit drinking. And there's like the pink cloud of sobriety they talk about in AA. And then it was like, oh, then everything hits. Because like one of your coping mechanisms isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
I guess, so since then, I've done a series of, talk therapy, and I've been doing all the other things, mindfulness and like exercise and eating well and all of these things. So I think I got to a point where I was like, again, the self-awareness, I know these things, I'm doing all the things, but I'm still stuck. I'm still not feeling relief. Some relief, yes, but not where I want it to be. So I was like, okay, I guess I better try something else.
Yeah.
So then I did hear another one of your podcasts, and you had a guest on that had gone through sessions with you. And she basically, I mean, I could have said exactly what she was saying about I've done all of these other things and they would last for a little while. I would get relief for a little while, and then I didn't. So I thought, okay, I really need to, I need to try something different. And also I wanted to be able to like promote what you offer to people, the healing, like firsthand experience.
Yeah.
Like I've talked to my clients till I'm blue in the face about, hey, Jenna does this, it's great, not knowing all of the things. So I think that's why I finally bit the bullet and I'm like, yep, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And that's the key piece. You have to be ready.
Yeah.
You have to.
Well, and that, I mean, I'm going to take a little segue here because that's so true. Like any practitioner, any therapist, anyone like can't force you into anything.
Correct.
You have to have not only the awareness, but the acceptance.
Right.
You have to now, I work a lot with these beginning stages of root cause therapy sessions. We're building safety in the body. I just got really emotional right there. Like I just had this little trigger because it's so sad. Sad's not the right word, but it brings up, as you can tell, a lot of emotion with me because I feel like as a collective, feel it's not okay to feel.
Yes.
Like we feel that we have to shove things under the rug. And I'm thinking of my kids now are coming up, like when they have the tantrums or the outbursts. And rather than allowing, that anger, that frustration to come forward and just kind of ride that wave, and not saying, it has to start in childhood, but a lot of times it does. And we're not taught those things of let's sit with that for a second.
Right.
I see you're frustrated, like those types of things to allow that wave to come back to neutral, because then we do start to dissociate.
Right.
We do. Our nervous systems are so smart, and just saying this little caveat here, because nothing's wrong with us.
Right.
Our nervous systems, our bodies are so smart. They think, what do I have to do in this moment to survive? Let that be fawning. Let that be fighting. Let that be flighting, whatever that is. And it could have been from a past experience. This is what I did in the past, and I survived. So this is what it's going to be like this time.
Yep.
So it's really allowing ourselves to build that safety. Circling back now, this tangent, coming back to building that safety. We're not even at capacity yet. We're just at that safety.
Right.
It's okay to feel.
And I think that's the thing, though. It's so, number one, when you're in it, it's uncomfortable to feel.
Yeah.
Therefore, you don't want to. And then if you were, as a child, especially if you were not given a safe space to feel, because let's be honest, as an adult, even because I have children, it's uncomfortable for me to watch my kids have a tantrum, or, it's because I don't want them to feel pain or feel sadness. So then it's like you try to, we'll fix it.
Deflect, divert.
Yes, divert. Mm-hmm. But then if you've always, like, you have the uncomfortable feelings too, and you figure out, if I distract myself with X, Y, Z, I don't have to feel that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what begins this unhealthy coping mechanism over and over and over. And I think I got so good at compartmentalizing and shoving everything down. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I used to think I was pretty cool being like, I just want to be a robot. No feelings, won't get hurt. If you don't feel, you can't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's no pain, there's no sadness. That's an awful way to live.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is an awful way to live. And I remember, I don't think I shed a tear like for a good chunk of my 20s,
mm-hmm.
just because I was so removed and so detached and so dissociated from everything.
Absolutely.
So now, being my age, almost 45, it's hard to say that. I'm almost 45. Learning how to feel an emotion, sit with it, ride the wave. I'm learning that alongside of my 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, we have discussions, JP and I talk about this with Dexter. It's like, we can't expect him to have emotional regulation all the time when we're still learning it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I try to give myself grace because at least here I am doing, I hate it when it's like, I'm doing the work.
I know.
No.
I talk to my hands too. Quotes.
Yes.
We got quotes right
Yes,
now.
air quotes, doing the work, all these like catchphrases.
Right.
But it's true, because I think if he can see us model it and also stumbling,
Yeah.
it's not easy. But I think I have much more hope for him to be able to do it when he's learning this at a young age and having a safe space for him to have these feelings with us. And then, the whole, because we are definitely not perfect. Like I said, we're learning along with him, and it's like the whole rupture and repair thing.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm at capacity. I bark at ducks for whatever reason, and then immediately come back and be like, that wasn't about you. I'm really sorry. X, Y, Z. And then we talk about it. And then it's like, all right, maybe that is how we should behave with one another. So
you just named so many things, not to keep this about, parent-child relationship, but so many key factors in resiliency, communication, naming it, taking ownership and accountability. Because when they do get older, think of how many adults don't talk about disputes. Maybe you get the silent treatment for a few days, and then it's like, what the F just happened, or whatever, So like, you're naming healthy communication styles for that, because we've had many conversations about mom guilt. I definitely have lived there many times also.
Yes.
So yeah. So let's get into, as far deep as you want to, let's get into a little bit about like your story. Story journey, I don't like any of those words, but like into your experience with root cause therapy. If you want to kind of share session 1, session 2, or just share like if there were moments after, like post-integration, or like, what the frick am I going to expect? Like, well, how is this going to be different? Like, let's just get a starting point.
Okay.
What's coming to you?
So I think initially, and I will just say this initially, I didn't have a lot of expectations. I 100% just trusted Jenna. Like,
respect that.
Yeah, like, she's the professional here. I'm seeking guidance and help with wanting to feel better. Like, I remember on my initial intake form with you, I think I wrote down that was something along the lines of, I want to just feel more, not even feel more calm. I want to feel calm. I want to feel content. I don't want to have this it went from a dull anxiety palpitation in my chest constantly to like these, when you get like adrenaline waves.
Yeah.
But it was like not great adrenaline. It was anxiety waves. So I wanted to try to lessen that. I think that was kind of one of my main things for our first session. So I didn't really have a lot of expectations coming in, but I do remember that morning, I told you, I said, I tried to think of any excuse I could to get out of this, because that's the one thing I've learned with all of this, and here, air quotes again, healing work. It's hard. I know why I didn't start before I did years ago, but I can't keep living the way I was.
Yeah.
So it's like JP and I talk about this. I've got two choices. One is to just keep ignoring it and being miserable, really miserable, and getting back to feeling suicidal and all of those things. Or it's still going to feel miserable for a while, but at least I think I'm going to start climbing out of the hole.
Yeah.
And I think I just wanted for that first session just to feel a little better, like the whole progress, not perfection. And I feel like I've been, not my first rodeo, I've been doing this long enough that I know it might not be a quick fix, but I also feel like there's so much more hope in this type of work that we're doing than just the talk therapy, because that has gotten me far with the awareness and everything. And like, I guess having more of the language and the verbiage and kind of understanding the cognitive, all of those things. But not feeling it in the body.
Yeah.
Like the body piece, clearly I can't run away from.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of where I was at with that. And also it was very much JP's, encouragement. And like, I really think, and he does it too. We're both your clients. He was like, I think we need to try this. You need to try this. And, so I think that's kind of where I was at with that. Totally open-minded, just like, yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. And it's something too, I kind of touched on this at the very beginning, but that top-down approach
Yes.
to the bottom, because we could cognitively solve, heal.
Yep.
I don't have daddy issue, whatever, like insert, this isn't obviously your story, but like I got over that already.
Right.
Well, let's sit with this for a minute.
Right.
Like, are you feeling,
where are you feeling this?
Body? Right. To really, because yes, you cognitively can have released, said whatever, and it goes back to that dissociation from the body. So that's a big piece with root cause therapy, is bridging the cognition to the soma, to the body. So now let's tap into that.
Yes.
Let's get curious. Again, it starts very slow into that safety building, because I don't know what to expect with each new person I'm working with too. Yes, I have an intake form and we go over that, but it's very much, we really like let the client, the recipient, lead in that way, because it's not a forced thing by any means. So thank you for sharing that, because I mean, and every session looks completely different.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why the continuing education, like I am obsessed with learning. Obsessed with learning and just how we work as humans. So
well, and that's another reason I like trust you so much, because I love that you'll say like, I geek out about all the like science stuff, which you can't have the mind without the body, and vice versa. So it does all work together. And I think we're ridiculous as human beings if we don't believe that there is energy within us. I mean, there's that meme that's like, you believe that, stuff with like Wi-Fi, like invisible.
Oh yeah.
You believe that, but you don't believe that we're energetic beings. Like everything has energy. So I just feel like I got to a point listening to what kind of how you would describe what you do, and like reading your brochures and listening to your podcast. I'm like, well, that makes so much sense for it to all be connected, because cognitively I understand I'm safe, I'm not in danger, and all of those things. So why do I still feel so uncomfortable?
Yeah.
And so, ready to just run away or fight or whatever.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Was there a part prior to starting, or that first session, even second session, when something was uncomfortable, or not uncomfortable and like triggering? Because obviously like we tap into a lot of feelings, right? But uncomfortable or surprising, maybe something that you didn't expect.
I mean, definitely during the first session, I think I wasn't surprised about something that bothers me, but I was surprised to the extent of how much I'm bothered by it and how affected I am by this thing. So I think every session we've done, the 2 sessions we've done, I am given more of an insight or of an epiphany of like, wow, that thing definitely affected me more than what I thought.
Yeah.
And then it always leads me, it's kind of like giving me a little breadcrumbs to start thinking about other things. And then I will have certain thoughts, or like, okay, that makes a lot of sense now, or maybe tidbits of memories will come up, because I do not remember a good chunk of my childhood.
Yeah.
Like which is very, it's very disturbing to me. There's a lot of things, I have a lot of black holes in my experience. And I think that's another reason I really was like, I need to do this, because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, and it's disturbing to not know. And these other things I've discovered that do really bother me, it's like, what else do I not know?
Yeah.
So then clearly these things, these missing holes are, that has led me to be who I am today and to have the issues I have today. So I know in order to get past these, I do need to kind of revisit this stuff. And that, I think, I was aware that, it might get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
Kind of that thing. And I don't want to say it's worse by any means. I guess if I'm looking at it from a standpoint of, do I feel more right now and do I feel more deeply? Yes. But that is because of two things. One, the heightened awareness I have, and two, the fact that I'm letting myself feel it. I am in the middle of it right now.
Yeah.
And I joke with people, I'll say like, buckle up, buttercup, kind of a thing,
Yeah.
because healing is not for the faint of heart. And I 100% understand why people choose to just turn a blind eye and just keep doing what they've always done. This is hard. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. I think it's me getting back to how deep feeling of a person I actually am. And I know why I shut it all down. It's really fucking hard.
Yeah.
But I also think I decided to be on this planet in this human meat suit.
Yeah.
So there's a reason I'm here. And I do have to realize, like, with the positives and the great things that I have in my life, like, there are also the flip side of that I have to deal with. So yeah, it's not easy by any means. Is it worth it? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And compare is not the right word, but I want to compare you and I for a minute. This just came to me and I was like, ooh, I need to say this, because you said at the beginning of the episode, you are 6 years sober, right? And then it was like this wave of like, oh shit, like all, because the numbing, the coping, the blurring, now it's here. And so you picked up another, maybe you stayed busy being busy, whatever it might have been. Me, on the other hand, I was still drinking alcohol as I was starting this, epiphany, the spiritual awakening, this evolution. So in the comparison of like flipping, like the polarities of our stories here, because you're 6 years sober, kind of like, you know what it's like to now give up a coping mechanism, to now feel, to now like get those little glimpses. Right. And then here, like, I'm not saying like I was a fraud by any means, right? But it's more so of like, I knew that crutch was always there.
Yes.
And I was like dabbling into like, just like letting myself lead, like letting my body lead, getting into the energetics, getting into like, there's something more here, like into the body, into all this stuff, complete career change, listen to past episodes on that. But now it's like, by doing all of this work, I have tried stopping the reasons for drinking 10, 20, 30 times, like so many times. And anyone that struggles with any sort of addictive behavior, like, can understand then the shame cycles and all those things that come up. And I can say wholeheartedly, like, neither way is right or wrong. So the comparison word is not the right word, but just sharing both of the perspectives of our lives, because now, same reason why I drank, same reason you just said. I felt so hard. Like, I just needed a break. I needed a break. Let me take the edge off for a second.
You needed to quiet the noise.
Exactly. And I really didn't have a reason to share that, but it was like this little epiphany for me, because we all come in at a different point. We all have different lessons. And there's another cliche quote out there where it's like, nothing is ever a failure, because some things take time to learn, or those, some things are meant in a certain time, or whatever that quote is. And I mean, I truly believe in that.
Oh, 100%. And so with all that, because I know on your episode, you had said kind of sobriety was kind of like the byproduct of like healing and getting back into the body and things like that. Whereas mine was like, I'm so sick of myself. I have to do something different.
You summarized what I just said in 2 seconds. Yes. Thank you.
But it was one of those things. It's like, I was fully aware for years, like, Brooke, you are a very high functioning alcoholic. Like, and when I really internalized that and actually quit with the denial of that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's true. Like, it wasn't, I couldn't sugarcoat it anymore. And I was sick to death of myself. So it's like, well, okay, this is one thing in a plethora of issues I can maybe start dealing with. So I think sobriety even though it was difficult when all the other stuff started coming up that I used to, drink away, numb, I don't have to feel, my life is falling apart, XYZ. I don't have to feel because I'm just going to get drunk and then I'm going to be hungover the next day and I'm going to be physically feeling terrible.
Yeah.
So I don't have to deal with the other,
Right.
the emotional.
That's masking.
Yes, exactly. So sobriety was pretty easy for me to stay sober because I still had my other crutch that I had for years and years and years. And I have been eating disordered for over 2 decades. And now really doing all this work and really looking back, like I've always been a disordered eater. I think my first comfort as a child was definitely food. Like when I break it down, all of my childhood memories that I do have, most of them are surrounded by food.
Yeah.
So I think that was my first vice. That was also the hardest one to, I guess, quote unquote, kick, because you have to eat to live. I can't just totally, abstain from my drug of choice. So not drinking alcohol was a bit easier because I still had, and that was kind of the height of my bulimia, like binge purge cycle. Like everything's terrible, but I know I'm going to go binge and throw up later.
Yeah.
So like, that's fine. That'll calm me. I mean, cognitively knowing like this is also not good for your body, whatever, but it's like one thing at a time.
It's regulation.
It is regulation.
Yeah.
100%. So I got to the point then at the end of 2024 when I was like, I also cannot keep doing this. I remember looking at myself in the mirror New Year's Eve, 2024, and I literally said out loud, that is the last time you're going to throw up. And it was. So I have been purge free since, so all of 2025, I was purge free. So I think part of how raw I feel now going through all of this is also because my number one coping mechanism lifelong is now gone as well. So then it's like, what do I got left?
Yeah. Right.
I got my coffee in the morning that I drink at 3:30 in the morning in the dark. Like that is my vice right now, which is much healthier than all the other things that I've chosen to self-medicate with. But I think that's in part why everything is just so emotionally raw and so difficult right now.
Yeah.
And I know that we've talked, like I have never felt just so deeply sad, just so incredibly deeply sad. And it's like, I'm grieving many things. One in part, like literally the death of me, who I was for many, many years.
Yeah.
And then also grieving relationships and, kind of the idea of what more could I be had I not had all of these unhealthy coping mechanisms over the years. But then I also realized, Brooke, that's also you constantly trying to raise the bar and the perfection piece of it. So, but I think any of us that deal with addiction, you eventually got to just cut the shit and be like, I got to stop denying and I got to figure out what is in there that I needed to begin with. And addiction is definitely chemical, don't get me wrong, but like there's a reason, and some of us are more prone to it than others, but there's a reason we reach for something initially and then over and over again.
Yeah. And you share sadness being that big emotion for you. Mine was anger.
Yes.
Which
I got plenty of that too.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, and I'm thinking too, because you, from what I know about you and just talking with you, you've said like, I'm always someone to speak my mind. I say it how it is. I was not that way. So here, swallowing the opinion, swallowing the being the people pleaser.
Yes.
So I'm like kind of putting like that anger for me was setting the expectation, setting that boundary, letting go of my resentments that all me, I'm taking the ownership here, but like that, the resentments that I built because I didn't say the thing or whatever that is. So just to know, and this brings it kind of full circle to, you open that can of worms and like buckle up, right? Because yes, it's worth it.
There's no going back. You can't unsee once you've seen it.
Yes. And I'm picturing ourselves at Rooted
Yeah,
Collective,
when we
like
talked about this. Yep.
the checkout area, because we always have our little, chit chats and stuff, but you can't unsee it once you
Right.
see it. And it's like, oh shit, like what did I get myself into?
Yeah.
And I say that laughing because it's like there's no other way. Like it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh fuck. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
And I could honestly say that anger within me, I don't know how many root cause therapy sessions I've had, a handful, but over the course of the last year and a half, 2 years, that anger for me is subsided. Like
That's
to see
wonderful.
that light
Yes.
of like, to tell you like, there's, things will, subside and like you'll have these epiphanies and,
Yep.
and all the things, but in another breath to know it's an evolution. Like
Yeah.
there is no finish line.
Right.
We're evolving, we're growing.
Right.
And some people, it takes longer. Maybe they had more experiences. Maybe they weren't able to process more. Like now it's like you're allowing things
Right.
to finally come up, to
Right.
be seen, to be felt.
Right.
And that's like the beauty in the energetics piece too, because you might be able to tap into that felt sense in one capacity, and it might trickle into so many other things too.
Right.
That integration, that healing hangover, as we call it, might be a little stronger to begin with, but then it's like, whoa, like I feel, 1,000,000 pounds lighter, the
Right.
peace, the clarity, like you could touch on so many things also with, one session or just in your own capacity of integration too.
Well, and I do know, so even after the one session, the anxiety piece had really subsided.
Mhm.
So that was just one session when I've been dealing with that for years. So
Yeah.
that was great. And then also another benefit that I just from a couple sessions has been, there's been some other experiences that have happened since then. And
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just more able to deal
Mhm.
with the happenings of life because I'm letting myself feel it. And even though, like, a couple days when I'm just like so deeply sad, I keep telling myself, like, this is just you healing, Brooke.
Yeah.
Like, you are now in a place where you are letting yourself process anything that you're feeling, and you have to do it. Otherwise, what is the alternative? Well,
Right.
we can't go back.
Right.
So, and to talk again about the anger piece a little bit, like I have also been such an angry person, not realizing how angry I was. But then when I got to a point where I'm like, I'm fucking angry, that's easier. That's a much more accepted emotion in society
Mhm.
than sadness.
Mhm.
Because it's like, what are you sad about? And then I say, here's a plethora of
Right.
things I could be sad about, but it's like, can't I just be sad? Can't
Right.
I just feel? So anger, I think, is easier for people to understand.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
go to anger management.
Exactly. There's a
Okay.
reason you're
Yeah.
you're angry.
Yeah.
And like usually, and I know they say that anger is usually a secondary emotion that is masking pain.
Yeah.
So, and then when I, really break it down, like I've been in so much pain, so much of my life,
Yeah.
not even really realizing it because I never allowed myself to go there because it was too painful.
Right. Right.
So I just don't even go there. So I think now, knowing the things I know and understanding, like, I can move through these things now that I do have some sense of safety. I have 40 some years of emotions that are unprocessed that are now coming to the surface. So that's what I mean when I tell people, buckle up, buttercup,
Yeah.
because you do have to be ready for it. And I think if you are seeking out this type of, therapy, however you want to, think of it as, people know, okay, yep, this is going to be some work,
Yeah.
but I'm here for it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And another thing that helps is having a partner or friends or family that are very supportive of you in that seeking, feeling calm and peaceful. And because like JP's great with that. So, I mean, the guy sees a lot of crying.
Yeah.
And he's great at just being like, yep, I'm here. And then as I cry and I feel like I'm so ridiculous right now, but he's like, you just need to let it out. And I do. I have to. I know it's part of this stuff coming out.
Well, you said you didn't cry for how many years?
Oh my God, like a decade.
Right. And
Yeah.
I mean, and we don't give ourselves enough credit because it's like, here I am doing this work and like, oh, I should be quote unquote feeling better.
Right.
And it's like what you just said, you've suppressed it for nearly decades, and
Right.
this is everyone, not just you, but it's like now it's,
Yeah.
you're feeling that safety, like give yourself that grace and celebrate it, because like this is, your body wants to heal.
Right.
And now you're ready to actually, start to have that stuff
Yes.
coming up.
And letting it happen and just organically going with the flow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So this question, it came to me and I was like, I want to see if she can put this together. I didn't tell you this question. So can you see any parallels between like your healing, inner healing, just kind of taking that inner ownership and building something like Rooted Collective 201, like that collective piece?
I mean, with the evolution of Rooted Collective 201, yes, 100%. You and I met after I had already started this endeavor. So I feel like what led me to be able to get to that point, to even, because a year before I was like, suicidal.
Yeah.
And I know that I laugh about that, but not laugh like it's funny, but it reminds me of that post I did on the business page about how literally crocheting kept me out of the psych ward, because I was very close to checking myself in because I was so uncomfortable. But I love to crochet and I didn't have any time to do it. And I'm like, oh, I have plenty of time to do it if I'm in the psych ward. They won't let you take crochet needles.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is the most ironic thing in the world. So anyway, crocheting kept me out of the psych ward. But that, that resonated and landed with people, like me being vulnerable and honest about that. So I was like, you had said, it was me getting to this point, realizing how low I was. But then it was like, I need to do something. And I very much was diving into like, okay, manifestation. And like, we are such powerful beings if we can, harness the energy and the intentions and everything. So I think I dove into that, and then this building came up for sale, and then all the momentum and all of those great things. So I do credit a lot of that to like the positivity and like, we can do this, the manifestation piece. But then things settle down a little bit, and then it's like, okay, I'm back into my, all right, I'm sad, I need this, I need that. So then with doing the energy work and everything with you, but now being able to see how just like fantastic this collective is, just literally it's a collective in every sense of the word, that the evolution of it, I know the work I've done with you and the energetics and the root cause therapy is just going to keep like compounding and spread awareness and spread, healing to people, and gives me all the feels.
I'm going to cry too, because this space is so community centered.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of conversations that we have with the collective in our hearts, with, bringing awareness, with speaking out. Like that post made me sound like a freaking crazy lunatic, but if it's going to help shed light to someone else, if it's going to help someone else not feel so alone.
Yes.
And what better, like, fuck, I'll be the guinea pig, like I'll be the one to say it.
Well, and I feel like I would be doing a disservice to others if I didn't speak out and be genuine and be authentic. Because if having what little platform I do have, or, the members that we have here and in the community, getting to know me and JP and everything, and that little bit of a platform, if I would have had somebody when I was like, because I felt so alone most of my life.
Yeah.
If I would have had somebody that I could have looked at and been like, hey, she looks like she has her shit together, but she's really not. She's falling apart. Right? I think I would have not felt so alone. And I think I wouldn't have fallen down the rabbit hole as far and as deep as I did. So that, the collective piece of it, and just being a safe, welcoming, accepting place for people, not just like the beautiful handmade things that we have here in the farm to table foods, but people come in and they just talk to us and like, hey, I'm not having a great day today. Like, what do you, and just having a small conversation with a person that might really turn their day around.
Yeah.
And they know that they can come in and talk to us because they're like, oh yeah, that's that crazy chick that owns that business. Like she's she'll tell me how she feels. I want people to know, as humans, life is not always easy, but we can be here for one another, and we can take care of each other in more ways than one.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what JP and I wanted in this whole thing. But it's evolving beautifully, and spreading the awareness. And this would probably be a good time to talk about the fundraiser.
Yeah.
So this is the second one this year. I want to do one every month. The first one, we auctioned off a Afghan that I crocheted with all my tears.
Love it.
The Afghan, the crocheting, is very, very personal to me. So we auctioned that off. The money went to the food pantry, which is great. Now this month, February, is National Eating Disorder Awareness Month. So clearly something that is very near and dear to me. So Jenna and I are kind of collabing on that. It's a Dollar Heart Club fundraiser. So a throwback to when JP and I were in high school, 1999. We had a fundraiser where you got a construction paper heart and you wrote your name on it and you gave it to your Valentine. So it was just $1. It was a fundraiser. But in January, at some point, it was one of those downloads that you talk about. Like, it just thought that would be a great fundraiser. And, the storefront window is decorated with the hearts. It looks great. People can come in for $1. And we've already raised quite a bit of money for this fundraiser. The money will go to a local organization. Jenna and I are still trying to find one that deals specifically with eating disorder awareness, because it affects so many individuals.
Yeah.
And it's something I want to spread awareness about, because I remember in my early days that I would have taken that shit with me to the grave. I would not have discussed that with anybody. And I was very good at lying.
Me too. I mean, visually, I was down to, I think, 98 pounds was the lowest that I was. And
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, and I don't like, I'm not a liar. But that was the one thing, the shame.
You guarded it with your life.
Yes.
Yep.
The shame was so strong.
Yep.
And now all that I know now, like, I didn't know this a decade ago, right? But like, all that I know now, I just want to hug, that 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 23-year-old, and just be like, you're okay. Like, you did what you did because, like, that, the control, like, I had the reasons. I didn't know why, like, one of those things, consciously you want to stop, you wanted this, that, the other, but going back to your nervous system will keep you survive.
Yeah.
And that could have been a form of regulation at the time. It's a form of control.
Exactly. It's one of those protector parts that served a capacity in your life to protect you from something at one point in time, but it's like it no longer serves. And I think you eventually get to that point where it's like, okay, I got to give this thing up,
Right. Well, and like any addictive behavior or any ailment, mental illness, like, they're life-threatening.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and the lack of information, or I don't want to say support, but eating disorders are very intimate, as any other addiction. We're not trying to, bypass anything here, but the secrecy or the shame, like you said, you take to the grave. I was the same way.
Yep.
And I'm sure, you could collectively say any sort of mental illness or addictive behavior, but you've shared stats on, your business page about eating disorders and who it affects. Like, it's
everybody.
It's everyone. And it's just something that I just love how you're going to do a fundraiser every month. This month, asking me to collaborate with you, like, it's getting my wheels turning too, of going out and speaking, or just having the green space next door to be like this safe container, this hub, this just welcoming. You're not alone. I don't know, I don't know what it could be, but
where
there's just so much.
Just go and we have tons of customers that come in just to say hi. Like, people don't have to buy something every time they're in here.
Yeah.
It's just nice for a place for people just to, like I said, just to go and they feel welcome. And that's kind of the whole idea of all of it. And I love where it's evolving to. I love it. Just some days I drive home and I'm like feeling things are going well. And I'm just like, holy shit, that's my life right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is happening. Like, this thing that I created is like, hey, it's actually working and people like it. And oh, by the way, we're also helping people heal.
Right.
Like, that's
an
amazing byproduct of like, hey, we want to sell some beef out of the store.
Right. Well, Truthfully, that's what I thought the
I
story
mean,
was going to be.
it's so much more.
Right?
Well, one of my clients had said, you need to call it beef and more. It really is more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so much more. Like
Yeah.
I've met so many amazing vendors and just collective members, and I have my normal, products that I buy, and I love it. It's definitely helped me transition a lot out of certain stores and things like that to really keep it local. And
Well, and for me, and I've talked about this on the pages too, it's helped me feel better about, eating food.
sure.
When you have nutritious, like locally grown food that your neighbors made,
Yes.
Grew or whatever, it makes me feel a lot better about eating.
Yeah.
And every bite is still very difficult for me, but I feel better about it because I know, the people that are farmers that produce and sell here.
Mm-hmm.
They're people just like JP and I.
Yeah.
They work hard, they raise their livestock right, their produce right, and it helps me feel better about, fueling my body
Yeah.
and keeping it in.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly. So to wrap, really, to just plug again that fundraiser this month,
Yeah.
if you feel called to come in to Rooted Collective 201 at 201 South Main Street in Blanchardville to come by your heart or hearts.
Yeah.
And just if you are distant, go ahead and email me, hello@naturallyempoweredliving.com, if you feel called to help in this collaboration at any cost to you. And Brooke, I'm just so grateful for you. Your
Ditto.
openness, your trust, your willingness to just, you were the one that reached out to me, and I was like, I wanted you to come on this podcast too. So I was just so, so, so excited to.
Well, I'm grateful that you have this platform and that for the work that you do and the work that, how you've helped me thus far, and you helped JP. And that's another kind of cool thing. If, having couples go through this, I think is pretty powerful. Because you kind of have to be in that same mindset of let's do some healing work together. So I think that's great. And I'm just really excited to see how this evolves for you and how your reach into the community, it keeps growing, and the people that you're going to be able to help.
Yeah.
And it just, it's pretty rad, Jenna.
It is. It really is. And I'm just so thankful for this space and all that you guys do.
Ditto.
And to our listeners, also, thank you so much for being here, for holding space for us, and to have these conversations to give to you, and for, doing your own inner listening along the way, taking what resonates and releasing what doesn't. So I will link a few things in the show notes about Brooke and I, and where to find us, about the fundraiser, all those beautiful things. Thank you, Brooke, again for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And until next week, as always, simply be you. You have everything inside of you to learn your energy of alignment and be unapologetic in who you are. We are sending our love and light.
Did you find this episode free or empowering? Please read my review. Tickle, boop.
Thank you for spending this sacred time with me on Naturally Empowered Living. If this episode brought you closer to stepping into your energy of alignment, I'd love for you to leave a written review and share how this show has supported your journey. Your feedback truly lights me up and helps others find the space of transformation. And sharing it with someone who might need it spreads the ripple of healing even further. Be sure to check the show notes for ways to connect with me and explore personalized healing sessions and mentorships to deepen your self-awakening journey. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do.